Hello, this is Christy. This video is an answer to a question that I got on the Camtasia users Facebook group, and someone asked how could they create a video that has multiple videos inside of different shapes in a template, and the shapes are not straight shapes, they are triangles or slanted shapes and so on. So I thought it was a good application of the media matte effect in Camtasia, which was introduced in Camtasia 2021. The media matte helps you create this particular kind of template, and it allows you to put multiple videos on screen in different shapes. Now let's start and have a look at this template. So this is the template that was in the example question, and I'm going to show you how you can actually slice up your screen into these shapes. This is just for example. I'm not going to actually use this image in the final video, but this is just to help us kind of cut up the screen into those shapes. And as you can see here in the example, every one of these shapes has a video in it at the end. So how can we achieve this? Well, first of all, let me check that my project settings are correct. So I'm going to switch to HD and apply like this. So this is the shape we're going to use as a reference. I have cut it up in a wrong size here, so I'm going to actually crop this to fit exactly on the screen using the Alt key. You can just crop away all the black areas like this. And now let's put this on the screen so that it fits inside of the whole screen like this. More or less accurate like that. So what we want to do is we want to cut up the screen into all these 5 areas. You can see this line here that's separating. We can add that later, but these are the shapes. So how can we do this? Because in Camtasia you can crop video, which of course you can crop it sideways, left, right, top and bottom, which still keeps the video straight. But how can you actually make these shapes? And of course, in annotations, if you go to Camtasia and you show all of these shapes here in annotations, you can probably find a triangle here, if I'm not mistaken. If we go to shapes, so we have triangles here, but of course not all of these are triangles. And if you try and create a triangle like this, let's try the middle one, you can actually play with this and kind of turn it around, and it's really difficult to get it into exact shape. The moment you try and resize it like this, you may succeed, but if the triangle is not really a fixed size, it's going to take you a while to do it. So there must be a better way. Plus, this one here, number 5, is not really a triangle, or number 4, it's not a triangle really, unless you turn it and kind of crop it from the outside. You can actually do this like that, but it's going to take a long time. So I'm going to show you a different way. The second way, which I'm also not recommending you do, is to create all these shapes in a graphics software external to Camtasia and just import those in here, and you put it on the screen and use them as a media matte. But again, I tend to like to keep things inside of Camtasia, if I can, native to Camtasia, because that gives you the most flexibility when you want to make changes. Maybe I change my mind and some of these shapes I want them to be slightly larger or smaller or have different angles in some areas. So then again, I'm going to have a problem because I have to go again to the external software and create the new shapes. But if I keep things inside of Camtasia all the way, then I can have that flexibility. So let's see how we can actually do this the right way in Camtasia. So I'm going to just keep this on screen as a reference image, but I'm going to bring in 5 videos at the end. I'm not going to bring them in yet. I'm just going to create this template first. So we will use a effect that was added in Camtasia 2021 called media matte. You'll find it in the visual effects here. On the bottom there's media matte. Of course I need to create the shapes first and apply this media matte to them. So the matte thing was available in Camtasia 2020. It was introduced, but you had to do it on a separate track of it on its own, which was a bit awkward and very many steps. And the new version media matte is much easier because you can just drag that onto the object. So media matte really is a way to use an object or a shape or another clip or an image and turn it into a mask to either show or hide whatever is on the track below your object. So what I mean by this is you can apply the media mat to a shape of a triangle, for example, and that triangle becomes a mask for whatever you put underneath it, like a video clip or another graphic or whatever. So that's what we're going to achieve here. But the problem we have is actually creating the shape in the first place. And like I've shown you, it's kind of awkward to do it with triangles here. And of course, if you have shapes that are more complex, like if they have rounded, squiggly edges or whatever other irregular shapes, then of course you're going to have to do that in a separate graphics program and bring that image in as a PNG and turn it into a mask. But if it's straight edges like this, it's very easy to do it in Camtasia. So let's see how we can do that. So let's create the first graphic on the top left, video 1. That is a very simple one. So I'm just going to go to annotation. So just so you know, we're going to create all of these from individual annotation shapes. Okay, so I'm going to use a rectangle here. I'm going to just place that rectangle on the entire screen like this. Actually, I don't have to put it on the entire screen, just there. And I can change the opacity a little bit so you can see through. This is not, at the end we don't need to have annotation, so with opacity. So this is, let me just give it a different shape here. So this is red, okay, like that. The color doesn't matter anyway, because when you turn this into a mask with the media mat, the color is not important. It's just important how much shape is there. So you can see here I've created this shape here, but I need to actually slice off this part of the shape because I don't want this area to be seen here. So I'm going to use another one just like this. So what we're going to do is just create one shape with another shape. So let's choose this black one. Really, again, the color doesn't matter. Let's resize it and rotate it until it matches this line here perfectly. You can, zoom in if you need to and just turn this around like that and place it here like this. I may not be very accurate with this, so you can go to the rotation controls, click inside of the Z, for example, and just use your arrow key to slightly twist and turn this object. When you're happy, look at this. So this is one shape, okay? So how can we actually cut out this shape from the bottom shape? Again, we will use the media mat. Go to the visual effects, apply media mat to the black clip here. Let me zoom in on the timeline, and if I apply this, watch what happens on the black clip. That black clip becomes a mask for the clip underneath, which is the red clip. But here it actually shows you the shape that is outside. So you have two options. You can shift the black clip to the left area like that. You see that? Now, so you only see the red part. Or, let me undo this. You can change the alpha to be alpha invert, which achieves the same effect. Alpha, alpha invert. Alpha invert shows you what is outside of the shape. Alpha shows you what is inside. Let's keep it to alpha and move this shape here like that. So that is our first shape. If the angle isn't right, feel free to adjust it a little bit. Go to the Z and just press, arrow up or down. And when you're happy with the cutout, select both of them, check this out, and Control G to group. So now this is your shape. There you go. You've got a triangle shape perfectly created to fit that particular area. So this is one way to do it, to do the shape. So how do you do the other shapes? If they have straight edges, this is exactly what you do. Just create cutouts from them. Let's create the second one, which is down here. Again, triangles all the way. And you can actually use a triangle, or you can use rectangles and just cut out the corners. So let's go again. So let's rename this one to be rename group. Let's call it a video 1 mask. Okay, so that's the video 1 mask on the left there. Again, the color doesn't matter, but if you want to, you can actually change the color here so that you can have them color coded. It's really not important. And that's your color there. So that's video 1. Let's try in video 2 now. This is on the bottom left here. The same way, we just go to create a rectangle like so, and we can resize it. We can turn it around like that to match with one corner, one side actually, and resize this all the way. Maybe zoom out a bit. That may not be the best choice. Let's rotate it a little more. So the idea is to just match up with one side first, and resize your object to fit one side like this. Again, you can turn the opacity down so you can see what's underneath. Zoom in there. So you can use your arrows to perfectly position your object, and then use another one. Just bring it down there and turn it around. Turn the opacity down again. Rotate it to fit the other shape, the other edge. Use the arrow keys to just move it up and down like this. It takes a little while, but once you're done with this, you are free to go. And here we go. So now this is the shape I want to keep. The intersection of these two shapes is going to be my final shape. Go again to the visual effects, drag the media mat onto the white shape like this, and there you have it. That's your shape there. If you group it again, select both of them and group, there you go, you have the other shape. Now, of course, you can see the other side, the other stuff that's outside of the screen, but that's not important because you only care about this. So if you right click on this group and you say resize group to canvas size, it's just going to cut out anything else and show you a nice shape here. Again, you can change the size, the color, it's red, so that is my second one. So the third one is actually still a triangle, so I'm not going to actually go through this explaining it. I'm going to just do it, but you get the point. Let's try video 5 as an example again. And video 5 again, it's let's rename this for now. So that is video 2 mask. Okay, so video 5 is actually a 3 edges here, 4, 5. So 5 edges. But again, the idea is the same. You're just gonna go to, you can actually do another way. You can actually create the shapes around the edges and then group them and use that as an invert mask. So what I mean by this is you go to the annotations again, and you know, as always, just use rectangles all the way. So you just create these big rectangles like this. Make sure you fill the whole screen because that's one condition of this. Go to the rotation here, use the arrow key to turn it like this very accurately, and you know, just push it down and use the arrow key again until your shape is in place like that. Now expand this shape to fill everything else. You just want to leave this area visible, right? So that's one shape, okay? And let's do another shape here. That's going to be this edge on the left. Just resize that and rotate it. So as you can see, we're just bordering this object. Again, stretch that to fill the whole area. You want to cover the entire area of the screen. Okay, so then let's do the bottom one. Again, it's a very simple, just zoom in there and just resize it. Rotate, you know, just fit it exactly on the edge like that. So just use the arrow keys a bit there. So there you go, that's my video 5. Of course now I can't see anything else, but what I've done here is I've created 3 layers. So I'm just going to copy, group all of these 3 layers, Control G. So that is the video mask. And if I were to add a video now, so let me just show you, if I were to add a video to the canvas, I'm just going to bring in a video clip here and put it on the timeline like so. And I'm going to move video mask 5. This is 5. Let's rename it video 5 mask. If I move this on top, so above the video clip, so this is how you actually apply these effects to the clips. So let's suppose that this is your clip here. So you can move it around, resize it. You know, that's my, I guess that's building. I want to see that through. So now you go to the visual effects again. If you don't see it, click more, visual effects, media mat, apply that to the black clip, which is now a group actually. So apply that to the group. There you go. And as always, it just shows you what's inside of the shape, so that's not helpful. But if you go to the right side in properties, change it to alpha invert like that. So then your video 5 mask will will let that clip see through, fly through. And again, if your mask is not long enough, all you do is just take that group and expand it to the entire clip length. You can do the same with the other ones, because if things are in a group, inside of the group, when you expand the group, the end of those clips are just going to expand to however long your group is. So look at this. Now my video is inside of shape 5. If I play this, it's just playing in there. See what I told you about the flexibility? If you zoom in here, you notice that I have I've left this edge here, which is a little, you can see a little bit of white. So it's not perfectly accurate. All you do is, to fix that, you just open the Video 5 mask, just open the group like this. In Camtasia 2021, it's very easy to edit the contents of a group because they open in a new tab. Some people don't like that. I kind of like it because it gives you more freedom to work in it. It was very awkward to do it when you had different many clips inside of a group. So now let's find that shape, the one on the left, bottom left. This is the one. Click on it, and you can see now I can individually rotate these. Click inside of the Z and just use the arrow keys to straighten that out, and or you can just move it like this. So I'm fixing that mask without, you know, having to re-import another graphic. So there you go. It is now perfectly in place. I can just click and close that group, and my shape is just perfectly allowing the video to play like that. Just make sure that all of your groups have the same length, you know, to fit your videos that you're going to put inside of them. So with that being said, let me just quickly do this on speed playback. I'm just going to do the other 2 groups so that we have all 5 shapes in there ready for us to put the video clips inside of them. One thing to note here is that when I put a video clip inside of one of these groups, if I have used the opacity to slide the opacity down so I can see through it, make sure you turn it back up when you're done, because then that's going to actually show you the mask with opacity, which is not very nice. So I'm going to just turn up the opacity, just go inside in the group and just put the opacity all the way to 100%. That's going to show your video clip properly in there. So as you can see here, I've already added 4 clips. It's the same clip, but of course you can add your own clips in each one of these and position them. So in my timeline here on the tracks, you can see they are all stacked like this. I still have number 4 to do, but you can see video 1 mask has video 1 on it. Video 2 mask has video 2 just underneath. So these media matte effects, they work on the track immediately underneath them, or the next track that has content just below it. So if you move this track up or down, the effect breaks for that particular clip because it only affects what's underneath. So that's one important thing to note. And if you add them like this, you know, you can create all the shapes at once, and then you just put all your clips and then apply the effect one, you know, in sequence until you get all the clips cropped and put inside of your shapes, and then you have your effects. And you can actually group the clip with the media matte effect that actually affects it. So for example, if I want to not mess this around when I'm moving things about, I have video 1 mask on the bottom left there, and the clip it affects, I can actually select both of them and Control G to group them. So now the whole thing is one clip. Look, I can actually move it around on my canvas. I'm moving the wrong one though. And you can move it around like this, use your arrows, and it just, or you just drag it so it becomes a single object with the video just cut out inside of it. So, you know, that's one way to organize things by using groups. So then everything stays neat and tidy. And if you need to make changes, you just open the group with using the plus sign there, and you just shift things around. You know, you change opacity, whatever. You can change the positioning of the clip, and so on. So now let me just finish this with number 4. So I moved all of these clips on the timeline in order, on the tracks in order of numbers, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is at the top. It doesn't matter anyway, because all you need to do is just leave one track below each one to put your clip in. So I'm going to put this clip again for the 5th time. I'm just using the same clip, and video 4 mask, which I just created, visual effects, go to media matte and apply that to it, and make sure you of course change the media matte to alpha invert if you have cut out the shape instead of creating the shape from the other shapes. So like this now, you can see now here my clip is done, my template is done. I have 5 videos in here, each one of them in a separate shape. So if I click and play, all of the videos are playing individually. So again, if you click on any particular clip, you can resize it, reposition it inside of its own shape, and this is one way to do it. So there you go. You can play now all of these videos, and they individually stay within their shapes. I may have something wrong here. Let's see, number 5. That's number 5. 4. I believe one of them might be affecting the other ones. So let me just group them, 5 with the 5, group it like this and move it. And 4 with the 4, again, keep them all together like that. And 3, 2, and I have 1. So there you go. This is one way to do it. And now if you want to swap one of the videos and fit it inside of its respective shape, you just go inside of that shape, you open the group, and there's your clip that you want to replace. So let's suppose I want to bring in a new clip here from my hard drive. Just drag your new clip in here, select the clip in your media bin, and select the clip on the timeline, the one that you want to replace, and you can right click on the media bin for the new video, and you can say replace selected media on timeline, ripple replace, or replace from the start, like this. So now my video is shorter actually, so I need to move my playhead back a bit, but you should now see that new clip in there. So again, click on it and move it around, position it any way you like, you know, and then your video is going to just play inside of that area right there. It actually helps if you have Camtasia 2021. It helps to create proxies from these video clips when you're editing, because it's actually much faster. As you can see here, I'm just I'm playing back, and sometimes I need to wait for a little bit for it to refresh and recreate. So you just right click on the video clips, select them all in the media bin, right click on them and say proxy video, create proxy video. That might take a minute for them to create the proxy video, but after you do that, you're going to notice that all the videos are going to actually play much faster on your timeline like this. Notice that. So there might be something wrong with my mask here. So if something's happening with your mask, like for example this one, see it's disappearing for some reason, that probably means that inside of that group I messed something up. So I'm just going to open the group and check my shapes. There you go. That is fine, and that is fine. So maybe one of the groups has been changed. Let's see which one it is. Okay, I think it's video number 3. If I open that in here and I open the video mask, you can see that my shapes are actually, one of the shapes is wrong, and I need to just pull it back here to fill the whole area. So one thing to note, if your shapes need to create a specific shape for you to be a mask, to have a mask inside of them, then you must make sure that all of the shapes that compose that shape actually last for the entire duration of your mask. Otherwise, your mask is fluid. I mean, you can have one of these shapes. If it's not in the right, look, it actually comes in later and it affects the shape of the object that creates the mask. So just one way to note, if your one of the shapes is behaving weird, just go inside of the group and make sure they all stay in the same place and they all have the same length. When you expand your group, maybe they get out of sync. So that's one thing to watch out for. So there's your object, there's your shape and your template with the videos in there. So one more tip I have for you, if you need to actually move the videos inside of these masks. For example, if I want my this building on the bottom right? So that's number 5. It actually, again, it helps for you to rename these groups. So that's right click again, rename. So that's video 5, right? So that's video 5 right there. If you move it around, you'll see it. It's 5. And by the way, you can lose that template now in the object on the bottom layer. You can hide it just as an idea. So this is video 5 here. You can animate them and coming in, creates a nice, interesting effect. But if one of your videos actually plays, as you can see, it's playing. That one actually is not a good example because it actually does stay in frame. So, but let's suppose that you have a video that you need to move inside of that shape in order to keep the subject in one place, right? So what you can do is you can still apply animations to them. So if I go inside of video 5 here, and let's suppose I want to move this down during the animation, during the playback, all you do is just click on your group, on your video that is inside of the mask, click on it. You can add a custom animation, go to animations, custom, just drag it there and make it as long as you like. And then during that animation, you can actually maybe shift the video. Let's suppose I'm going to just shift it like this. So you can see now the video moves inside of that shape. Just make sure you move it in such a way that you're not revealing the edges of the video, because if you do, then of course you're going to see the, a black edge or whatever. And yeah, so just move it inside of that clip, and then when you play it back, the video shifts, but it still stays within that mask. So that is one way to make sure that if you have like singers, for example, just singing, and you want them to be in these weird shapes, then you just animate them and make sure they stay in there for the entire duration of the video. So that is one trick. Again, after you remove your guide image, again, another tip here, if you move your guide image and you say, well, I don't like this black line here, I want it to be a different color, you can have two choices. You can go to your project settings and change your canvas color. So right now it's black, but let's suppose I want to color pick maybe the sky color here, or this brown, orange, or or you can just choose whatever color you want. Let's call it that I don't know, that orange that was in the guide image to start with. So that's one way to do, change your canvas color. But if, let's suppose you have other objects on the screen, or maybe your canvas needs to be black because you don't want to affect your canvas. Maybe you have an intro or something else that needs the black background. All you can do is really just go on the main timeline. Now you can pull these groups together. So you can right click on the tracks and say remove all empty tracks. So again, let me make some room here. So these are your 5 videos. Each one of them has a video inside of it. Again, you can feel free to select all of them and group them together again. So look, I group everything together now. So everything is one single clip, right? Everything still plays just fine. All of the effect is kept together like this. But if you want the background to be different, you just move this up and just go to annotations and use the rectangle annotation. Just drag it in here, expand it for the entire duration, resize it. You can zoom out and just, resize that. Make sure it's below your effect, of course, and just change the color right there. So that allows you to have flexible lines around your clips like so. And it doesn't really matter that it's going outside of the frame because that's not going to be visible. So I hope this helps. I mean, it was a little bit of a long video here, but I hope I've illustrated the ability to create your own shapes from other shapes inside of Camtasia and then turn them into masks to mask any clip, any video, any way you like, and then, you know, produce this interesting video. So thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe and feel free to join my Camtasia support group for beginners for Camtasia on Facebook. And also, if you have not upgraded to Camtasia to use these features, and the Media Mat is only available from Camtasia 2021. There is a link in the description to do an upgrade and or to buy it, and that would support my channel because it is an affiliate link. It means no extra cost to you. And again, thank you for your time. I will see you on the next one.